Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week. And today I want to talk about the fact that the greatest enemy of any one of us is you, is we ourselves. So your greatest enemy is you. Many people, and in most countries, many people are busy looking for enemies. Some people look for enemies in Satan. Some people look for enemies in demons. Some people look for enemies in their relatives. Some people look for enemies in their friends. Some people look for enemies in principalities and powers. But as poor Satan is the biggest blame factor that we have in our lives. Poor Satan, it takes all the blame for all the things that go wrong in our lives. And in fact, as a matter of fact, as Christians, there are some people that are busy casting out demons from each other, or every day, or every month, or every year, just to get ahead, to get rid of Satan, or to get rid of problems. But in the real sense, the biggest problem and the biggest challenge you ever have, and the biggest problem you have, the cause of all your problems is mainly you. Most of your troubles come and initiated and by you, or you are a contributor to most of those problems. So in most of our challenges, in most of our problems, nobody really is to blame. In most of our challenges and troubles, we are to blame for them. So I would like to talk to us this week about focusing on changing ourselves, on focusing on working on ourselves, rather than trying to 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 fight some enemies, either visible or imaginable. So this week we'll be talking about the greatest enemy in your life, which is you. Hello, everybody. I'm still talking about the fact that the greatest enemy in your life is you. One of the reasons for that is because nobody can cause you more trouble than yourself. Most of the troubles in our lives, you will cause them by ourselves. Oh, for me as a pastor, I know that for sure. I know a lot of people that are young girls or young boys that there is an instruction in the Word of God that says, don't fornicate, don't commit adultery, don't date, don't go sleeping with people, men and women, before marriage. And there are men and women that do that. And what they do is that they go about dating men and women and having illicit sexual affairs. And later on, when they marry or they don't marry, when they are heartbroken, they are fond of saying somebody is bad. Oh, it is the boy that is bad. It is my husband that is bad. Oh, I married the wrong woman. Oh, it's the relatives of my wife. Why did you marry her? Or why did you marry him? You are the reason for your sorrow. You are the reason for your trouble. Nobody can cause you more trouble than yourself. Oh, you think it's your wife? Well, why did you marry her? It's because you married her, that's why you got into that trouble. I don't have that problem with your wife because I never married her. And I don't have that problem with my wife because I look properly. And I'm not in some mess of some relationship or the other because I never started one. So there's really nobody that can cause you more trouble than you. Look into your troubles again. Look into your challenges. Look into your adversaries again, and look at them and examine them with a sense of objectivity. And then you discover that maybe you are not supposed to be blaming all the people you've been blaming. Maybe you need to look inside yourself and begin to blame yourself. Talk to you more about it tomorrow. God bless. Hello, everybody. We continue to talk today about our biggest enemy, which is we. Well, the best victory you could ever have, the number one enemy you need to conquer is yourself. Many people are busy trying to conquer some principalities and powers and fight some demons and fight some, what do you call it, curses, from inherited curses, or generational curses, they call them. And If you're a Christian, you don't need to bother so much about your generational curses. Maybe, some people might be having that problem, but you know what I discovered? I discovered that you and yourself is the biggest fight of your life. You need to conquer yourself first. You need to put yourself in place and begin to talk to yourself that, wow, well, I must change myself. I must change my habits. I must work on my weaknesses. And I must become a better person for myself. Most of our challenges, most of our troubles are connected to us. Even if we are not the sole person or totally or wholly responsible for whatever we're going through, one way or the other, there is a place, there is a role that we ourselves have played in it. And if we don't if the majority of the blame doesn't go to us, well, that doesn't mind. That doesn't, no, it still doesn't matter because some percentage of the blame still go to us. So it's better to focus on ourselves and focus inside and see what amount of the blame do I carry, and then try to work on yourself to eliminate and to remove some of those things that have led you to that trouble you are in the first place. So the first work you could do in this world is the work on yourself. The first victory you could gain in this world is the victory of yourself. You're over yourself. So let us consider working to ourselves and working on ourselves rather than being over concerned about other people. God bless. Hello, everybody. We continue to talk today about the biggest enemy in our lives, which is we. You are the biggest enemy of your life. And you know what? Many of us have some dreams, great dreams. And many of us have some aspirations, great aspirations. And many of us are dreaming of becoming great people, dreaming of, doing a lot of great stuff. But unfortunately, what I've discovered is that most of the time, if we don't conquer ourselves, we cannot conquer the world around us. A man that will conquer the world must first of all conquer himself. Have you thought about that? Have you really conquered yourself? You need to conquer yourself first before you could be thinking or before you could think of going to conquer the world. And if you don't work on yourself, if you don't perfect yourself, if you don't train yourself, if you don't discipline yourself, if you don't tutor yourself, if you don't administrate yourself, if you don't manage yourself, you will discover that you will not be effective in managing any other person out there, and you will not be effective in managing any other thing outside there. So for us to conquer the world, we must conquer ourselves. As a matter of fact, only the people that have conquered themselves eventually rule over this world. Only the people who have conquered themselves conquer the world. Only the people who have overcome and gained victory over themselves are the people that have authority in the world, because they don't have the same challenges, they don't have the same issues. Well, you might say, well, there are some people who don't have, who have not conquered themselves but are successful in the world. But that success is temporal. It's temporary. Most of those people, they are disgraced out of those successes eventually. Your success will become sorrow to you if you don't conquer yourself, because it will be revealed and you will be exposed eventually. God bless. Hello, everybody. Well, I want to talk to you today, continue talking to you today about our greatest enemy. And our greatest enemy is we. You are the greatest enemy of yourself. I know a lot of people that are busy trying to change a scene, or trying to change a nation, or trying to change their territory, or wherever they're living in, or their country, or their city, or their surrounding, because they want something different. They want a new experience. They want a new atmosphere. They want to change their lives. But the best way to change your life is to change yourself, not changing the territory. The best way to change the things in your life is changing yourself, not changing the scene. Changing the scene, changing the surrounding, changing the environment, changing the nation does not change you. And if you change a nation without changing yourself, you will discover to your utmost amazement that in the next nation, your challenges still remain the same, that your troubles are still the same. So if you don't want to, because you are going to be, you are still going to be the same in the same country, and your reactions will remain the same, and your weaknesses will remain the same. So until you change yourself, changing a country or a land or a territory doesn't really help you. So for us to really change, we need to change ourselves. It's like the man that put some, some I don't maybe it's not a good some smelling stuff on his nose by mistake, and so wherever he goes to, he said everywhere is smelling bad. And nobody smells what he's smelling until he discovered that he has put some smelling stuff on his nose. So in that case, no matter where he goes to, everywhere will smell bad, because the thing is that he's smelling is right in him, right near his nose. So if we don't want our lives to be full of smell and odor, let us take care of our nose first before we try to fix the world and our surrounding around us. God bless. Hello, everybody. Well, we're talking about our greatest enemy, which is us. Our greatest enemy, which is we, is that if you really want to conquer yourself, if you really want to change yourself, the best place to start is to start from your thinking, to start from your imagination. Most of our troubles really that we have is connected with our thinking pattern. It's connected with our thought life, with our thought system of thought. So if you are having trouble dealing with yourself, or you are seeing problems everywhere, or you just have challenges and adversaries everywhere, it is because of the way you are thinking. Yeah, and most of the time, all our troubles, or most of our troubles, 80% of our troubles are always started with in our mind. What we think about, how we see situations, how we interpret the things that are going on around us, our attitude to what is going on around us, what our reactions to the actions that take place all around us. Those are the things that really determine if we are going to be happy or we are going to be unhappy. So most people are unhappy because their responses are wrong, because their attitude are wrong, because in their mind they are not happy. So if you could be happy in your mind, there is nothing that could make you unhappy outside in real life. If you be victorious in your mind, there is nothing that will stop you from being victorious in real life. If you are in your mind clean, there is nothing that could make you dirty in real life. So everything starts from our mind. Why don't you put a guard around your mind so that only the things that are healthy are tolerated in your mind? Then you will see that to live a victorious life is really easy. Hello, everybody. We are continuing to talk today. As the final day, we're talking about our greatest enemy. Your greatest enemy is you, because your greatest fear, most of our enemies, most of our problems, most of the things that we think are troubles and challenges and problems to us, they are always connected with one fear or the other. So, and our fears, most of our fears really are something that are within us. Most of our fears, we're fearing that we'll go bankrupt. That's coming from you, even if you have some facts from outside. But if you decide to believe that you'll not go bankrupt, if you fight for it and you decide to fight that it will never happen to you, it won't happen to you. If you are fearing that something will happen to your loved ones, to your family members, and not even though nothing has happened to them yet, even if something is happening to them, even if they are sick or they are going through something, you don't need to tolerate or admit the fact that something evil is going to happen to them. Even if something evil will eventually happen, you don't let it happen to you first in your mind before it happens in real life. Because most of the fears that we have tolerated and that we have gone through really don't materialize. Most of the fears that we have gone through and that we have suffered for don't come to pass. So if you remember cases in your life when you thought that, oh, something bad was going to happen. And then after some time, the thing passes and it doesn't, nothing bad, nothing evil happens. And you wonder, why were you so worried? Why were you so troubled? Because in most of the cases, the things that we always fear and the things that we are always concerned for most are within us. They are things that are connected to ourselves. So one of the best ways for you to live a free life is to take a decision not to fear anything and not to tolerate evil thoughts in your mind. And that way you could overcome your biggest enemy, which is